I posted on my timeline. If you go and you will see. So they were paid 160 million in advance so that they can fast track this deal. But ALG, in their submissions and in the documents I have seen, also in their informal communications that I was able to see, they were saying there is so many red flags in this project. They don't understand why KA would still go ahead with it. And one of the red flags is so there's a report called the CSIA report, and in this CSIA report, Adani wants the Kenyan government, and I will read what they actually wrote to the Kenyan government, to KAA. They say the concessionaire will carry out social impact assessment. Concessionaire is basically the Kenyan government through KAA. They will conduct an social impact assessment and due diligence on the project area and conduct consultation with the affected people before commencement of the project to reduce social impacts and risk of opposition. So they were already aware that there will be some kind of public uproar. They go on to say that the contracting authority, in conjunction with other government agencies, will be responsible for mitigating and managing any public opposition, protester actions, and associated site risks. So they were very much aware of what they were doing, and they had anticipated that when this thing goes public, that it's going to cause some kind of unrest, and they were warning the government that when this comes up, they need to be ready to deal with, this kind of unrest. But what they did not anticipate is that it will be before they conclude the deal. So this is what they never anticipated. So let me go back to ALG. ALG raised another red flag. They said that the capex refund that Adani Group wants after 30 years, they want basically a refund of the $2 billion. So in the previous documents that I had gotten, they were saying that they need about $1.8 billion to run the project. But after, I saw other documents that said they needed $2 billion now to run this project. And you need to understand that they're all talking about IRR. IRR means internal rate of return. So basically, they're saying in 30 years, they will require their capex amount back with IRR. So meaning in 30 years, 2 billion now will be probably equivalent, will not be $2 billion, which we are seeing now. It will be more than this. And also, the ALG group raised another red flag. They were saying, how can Adani Group ask for 18% equity on this project for JKIA? And they also said that on normal circumstances, people charge maybe 8 to 15%. Actually, it's 21%, but in the report, they had toned it down to 18%. So it doesn't really make sense why Adani would say they want 18% of JKIA after 30 years. Basically, in normal circumstances, it's either between 8 to 15% equity based on the negotiations. And the last thing I want to say is that in the ALG final report, the feasibility report, they raised a major issue on the procurement process. And I will just read what they highlighted. In accordance with, yeah.
Just a minute.
Yes,
you can hold on your submission. I need the PS to complete whatever she was saying so that she can leave, and
okay.
Then you can continue from there. So kindly, Madam PS, just be logical in terms of your submission and be truthful, because so many comrades have come to my DM and say even the numbers that you guys have placed on your websites, they are unreachable. So how are they going to occupy Nyayo House? Na hata hapo nje kwenyewe huwezi ingia bila ID. Wewe unasema mtu anaweza ingia, but this is the information from the ground. Watoto wamekuja hapo bila idea hawezi ingia na wewe unasema they can. Alafu when someone is opening a bank account they need a KRA pin, na KRA pin sidhani kama mtu anaweza tumia birth certificate so kindly just be truthful in your submission at least 2 minutes so that just hit the nail on the head, answer the questions so that we can leave other speakers to also give their submissions. Do we have so many requests and we want as many people to speak as possible? So thank you.
A very quick one. I have met student leaders, many students in my office in Jogo House, and they accessed without any issue. So if they have any problem, maybe they can talk to their student leaders whom they can reach more easily for access. But I can assure them that my office is accessible. In terms of the telephone numbers, I'm here with my CEOs of HELB and Universities Fund. They're here. They're going to check on their call centers, but what I know is that they have very active call centers. It would not be fair if I didn't answer Mark Oseda on the how we determine the level of need. And these are very technical things. You can also reach me on the site because I'm told 2 minutes and not to be too technical. So there's the poverty probability index. And just allow me to demonstrate this. I come from a village called Shirugu in Malava. And so if you come to that village, the poverty probability index would classify me as poor. But when you go to KRA, you'll get my salary, which all of you know anyway because it's public. So then I would then be sieved out of the poor to be graded in the bands that shows I have more income. Other issues we look at are if you benefited from scholarships, if you are funded through Harambes, if you're a beneficiary of the National Safety Net, the cash transfer, and Ministry of Labor has a lot of data on that. Then there's the issue of the lag when students are processing with the national ID, and there's some time lag in processing. This is again very technical IT stuff. It's because of the delay in communication between the National Registration Bureau and the Integrated Population Registration Services. And as I wind up, there's the thorny issue of school fees again. And let me just clarify that I'm not going to the details of how we used to have the average of 50,000, that is 16,000 plus other administrative costs. But that was over and above the actual cost of the program. So now, when the actual cost of the program was added onto the administrative costs, the ones that the students used to pay 50,000 or 28,000, there was naturally the global figure was higher, but that did not mean that the fee had been increased. And again, I can have side conversations with individuals. And thank you very much for giving me this space. I enjoyed interacting with everybody, and I'm always available. I'm a call away, I'm an email away. Let's take this conversation out of this space, but it continues. Thank you very much.
Haya, asante sana. Mr. Nelson, kindly proceed.
Thanks, Edgar. So I was saying that ALG Consulting, it's a consulting firm from Spain. It's a Spanish consulting firm that was procured. They gave this job by KAA, and that job was basically to become the transaction advisor. But in the process, they saw major red flags in this project, but because of the interest they have with the money, they don't want to lose the project. It's been KAA has been their client for so long, since I think 2019. They've been making their Kenya aviation policies. They didn't want to lose this, obviously, so they just played by the tune. But I saw some communications where they were actually they were trying to advise the team to tone down on the like the wordings of these red flags, so that they don't look like very serious red flags, but they're super serious red flags. And the team was actually obviously asking themselves why KA would actually go ahead with this project that has serious flaws. So before I was cut short, I wanted to read one of these red flags, and just to read verbatim of what they said in this report. In accordance with international best practice, we recommend using the competitive bidding procedure, which, through open competition, is the most likely to maximize the value for money for the contracting authority. We are not aware of circumstances which could allow KAA to procure the project through restricted bidding or direct procurement. Likewise, we are not aware of any privately initiated proposal for the project, and generally we do not advise to use such methods as they deprive the contracting authority from fully benefiting from the competitive pressure and/or can exclude bidders which have not been pre-selected by the contracting authority but would have met the qualification criteria to participate to an open bidding process. And last Sunday, I said in this space that there was two people who are interested, two companies, one from Singapore, one from Qatar, and we saw the work that these companies did in, for example, in Qatar. They have a beautiful airport. Singapore has one of the best airports in the world, but we wonder why they would go for a company in India which has questionable integrity. And that if you read the reports, the Adani Group has coal mining rights in Australia, and they have quote unquote a green climate company in India, which they use to greenwash, and their stocks basically go high because they're selling carbon credits, they're following all this net zero, blah blah blah, and then they use this company to get loans to fund the coal companies. So basically, this is a very crooked company. It doesn't make sense that they leave companies from Singapore and Qatar to go to India, to one of the most corrupt companies in India. This company has multiple court cases in India, and the cases are like money laundering. If you remember, maybe most of you do not know, but the Goldenberg saga, the scandal, the way it was executed was they would forge import-export gold certificates, and then they would go to the Ministry of Mining and they would get 30% of the value of these import-export certificates. That's how they stole, I don't know, $1 billion from Kenya. It's the same thing Adani is being accused of in India. So basically, this company is like, you can imagine Goldenberg. Now imagine Adani is doing something like Goldenberg in India, and they're being charged in court. The only reason why they're not being jailed or what is because the owner of Adani is best friends with the PM, Narendra Modi. This is the only reason why this case is, they're there. India, by the way, is exactly like Kenya: corrupt officials, corrupt government officials, the judiciary system is corrupt, all these things. And this is how Adani is able to thrive. Now you can imagine Adani with all these crooked ways, they're coming to Kenya. So basically, they're using JKIA just as wanaingiza tu kichwa. And then what next? They will take over our transport system. They will take over our energy sector. They've already done some deals with the CS Churchill, and now they want to do it with KAA. They will probably do it with our Mombasa port because they did it in Tanzania, the port of Dar es Salaam. They have a 30-year concession. So this is why we need to occupy JKIA as a matter of urgency. It's not a joke. It's something so serious. We need to take it, the way we took finance bill so seriously. This is it. We need to take it as serious as the finance bill. Nothing less, because they are coming to devour our entire country. They're going to just sleep slowly, and you will hear, Adani is building railway. I don't know where. Adani is building this road. And mind you, they are in, I don't know, $50 billion debt. They don't have the money to fund this project. I forgot to mention that 53% of this project will be funded by the taxpayer. So why is this a PPP project? And 14% will be funded by investors. Then the rest will be funded by a loan. They're asking KAA to transfer this property where the airport is, the title deed to Adani. So basically, Adani will own the airport with a title deed for 30 years. And the reason is they want to use the title deed to take loans for this project. So this is something that we can do. Why are they being given this project? Then we can take a loan with our own title deed. So it doesn't make sense, this project at all. It's just a way of some officials in government to steal money and to secure their future and their children's future forever. And we need to say no to this. Thank you, Amerix.
All right. Thank you very much, Nelson. Nelson has been instrumental in pushing for us to get back or for us to understand the secret dealings that are going on between Adani and the government and those shadowy figures. Kizude.
Oh, wait, Amerix, the Wakili Makanu is on the wait list, so maybe you can add him and you can,
I've seen it. I've seen it, yeah. We will drop some speakers, then you can come in later. We have so many requests, 102. Right, Kizude, 2 minutes. Welcome.
Leo mtaniruhusu nizungumze Kiswahili. Ile lugha sote tunaelewa kwa sababu azimio langu ni hii habari kabla ifikie watu wa nchi zingine. Ifikie watu wa Kenya kwanza. Maisha imekuwa ngumu. Gharama ya maisha imepanda kwa sababu hata ile pesa nimelipa kwa gari ndio nifike hapa. Wallahi sio fair. Maisha imekuwa ngumu. Unatoka kwa nyumba, unaenda kufanya shopping. Ukifika pale unashikwa na roho ya kununua spices, lakini ukicheki bei yake hiyo roho inapotea, unashangaa hiyo roho iko. Maisha imekuwa ngumu. You see, after bei ya tokens imepanda, bei ya candles pia ilipanda. Ni masiku kadhaa nimekaa kwa giza, so hii story msichukulie lightly. Maisha imekuwa ngumu. Maisha imekuwa ngumu design, siku hizi ni ngumu nipate kwa mitandao. Social media nishaipiga X, so kikosa kuniona online usishangae WhatsApp. Ni maisha imekuwa ngumu. Si walipandisha bei ya data. Sina ubaya, nataka kujiredeem and that's why na try kubonga points. Maisha imekuwa ngumu. Ukienda pale Shell, uchukue bei ya petrol plus bei ya diesel, utashtuliwa na hiyo total. Yani watu wamesota design paka watu walianto wako mafutani. Maisha imekuwa ngumu. Ni juzi nimepigwa ngeta na vijana wawili kucheki fiti, kumbe ni classmates wangu. Wakaniambia, "Wewe juu tunakujua, tupatie 500, ina haja tukupunch." Nikawashwa kusema kweli mabro 500 sina. Lakini niko sure tukiacha kupiga watu ngeta, we can come up with a decent way ya kutafuta madhao and thou shall live in peace. Maisha imekuwa ngumu. Walisema gavani ya mahasla, mama mboga na ule mtu wa bodaboda. But tell me why hata after kuchapa kazi siku mzima, jioni ikifika mtu wa bodaboda hizi afford kupelekea mama mboga? Promises walitupatia. Nasikia ni kama ni stories za jaba juu walitufanyia ile design motivational speaker kuja amefanya makeup, alafu anatuambia we should be willing and ready to face the reality. Maisha imekuwa ngumu. Maisha imekuwa ngumu design paka wasichana wana have ku handle vitu hard ndio wakuwe na soft life. Maisha imekuwa ngumu design ndio mvulana experience soft life, inambidi atumie drugs hard. Unapata uko Kayole lakini zako zimerunda. So haijalishi hii Kenya umetoka part gani, haijalishi una support party gani, sisi wote tunakapitia, na ndio maana leo nimekuja kuambia shida ni gani. Shida ni hiyo chwani. So hiyo chwani imetugeuza mang'ombe, and that's ukicheki utaona madeni zinatua ndama. Hiyo chwani ndio kosa mashida zote tunapitia. Hebu cheki. Hiyo chwani si kosa kulala tukicheza wa dreams tukiwa siku moja zitatuletea hiyo chwani. Bro, kwa sababu wewe ni go-getter, usiende kupiga wenzako ngeta. We can come up with a decent way ya kutafuta hiyo chwani. Kenya itagrow na kwa corruption free country, siku tutaacha kuwapatia hiyo chwani. Ati Kenya itagrow na kwa developed country, siku wataacha kutuibia hiyo chwani. Sister nikikosa kununua leo imaanishi sitaki kukupromote. Vile kwa mfuko mbele nyuma nimebaki na hiyo chwani. Hii talanta bado ijaleta hela, lakini siwachi, nitaipush mpaka siku italeta hiyo chwani. Haijalishi watasema ni bidii au si bidii, waambie tuko Nairobi tunatafuta hiyo chwani. Nataka kuambia mayudha tujalala, wakisleki watashtukia ni sisi ndio tuko na hiyo chwani. Alafu the last and the most important, hii nataka ifikie prezo, tushukishie bei ya vitu, at least tutole hiyo chwani. At last and the most important, hii nataka ifikie prezo. Usidhani 2027 utakuja kutununua na hiyo chwani. Shukran. Thank you so much, Amerix. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Kizude, a spoken word artist from Kenya.
All right. Thank you very much for that performance. Yeah, we usually say that the most important thing in the life of a person is art and education. Today, the most lucrative skill is a librarian skill. But why are librarians not employed? Because nobody wants you to be educated. The most lucrative skill today is a librarian skill. Why can't our constituency development fund appropriate some money to build community libraries? Because they don't want you to study. They don't want you to be educated. They want you to be indoctrinated so that they can push you here and there like cattle. That's why I played that song of Wewe ni Ng'ombe. Don't accept to be a cattle. Sit down and read and learn something and come out and protest and refuse to live with tyranny. People who take away your freedoms and rights. Edgar, you can go on.
Okay, thank you so much, Amerix. So I'm going to give the floor to Francis Gaito. How are you, sir?
Hi, Edgar. Hi, Amerix. Thanks for hosting me today. I just want to do some house cleaning on a few things. First of all, I think, and I think Amerix, we spoke earlier about it, is about my tweets about some people in the movement, some people in the struggle. We've been talking about Boniface Mwangi and Khalif Cairo, and everyone seems to be coming at me and telling me that, oh, I'm spreading or I don't know, causing disunity in the movement. No, my asking for accountability, whether it's by Khalif, whether it's by Boniface, whether it's by Hanifa, is not to insinuate, is not inversely proportional to endorsing Ruto. So why are you claiming that seeking accountability within the movement, because we cannot be demanding transparency and accountability from our politicians and then tolerating the same within the movement? So we, first of all, the people who I am targeting or the people who I am naming, they have gone in the media and been identified as leaders of the movement or leaders of the protests. So myself, I've not gone or I've not appeared on any media interview saying or claiming to be a leader of the protests, but them they have. And so on that basis, I have every right to demand that some questions be answered. For instance, on June 25th, the day that protesters stormed into parliament, why was Boniface Mwangi caught on camera asking protesters to leave CBD? That is a very fair question. And instead of somebody resorting to body shaming, resorting to insults, resorting to all manner of deflection, spin, obfuscation, yesterday they even staged, Boniface Mwangi even staged his own goons to raid his office and then come to try and solicit sympathy from the masses. No, the question still remains. You were there on June 25th with a group of riders and mobilizers, and you got people out of CBD. The basis or the narrative that you used was it was for their own safety, but we all know what happened when they went to their estate. So they went to Gedurai, they went to Rongai, and then the police found them there. They did what they did. People are disappearing. They are just turning up in morgues. As of today, somebody just told me that their brother appeared in a morgue in Naivasha. So going home did not guarantee the safety as had been claimed. So my question is still to Boniface Mwangi, and I will ask you until you give me a straight answer. Why did you get people out of Nairobi CBD? Who paid you? Are you on the payroll of the Ministry of Interior? That's the question, because Boniface Mwangi is accusing me of being a government operative, yet he himself goes on seminars with the National Police Service and the Ministry of Interior. He gets paid by them. So it is a fair question, and don't try and bully me. Don't try and guilt trip me that I am causing disunity in the movement by seeking accountability. This is fair game. What we demand from our leaders, we also demand of ourselves. We demand this level of accountability. Number two, this week has been a very long week. On Monday, the director of the DCI made a statement that I did a tweet, and then later they went and arrested Macharia Gaido, saying that they first abducted him. It wasn't even an arrest. They abducted him in one car, and then he had first tried to shed off this tail by the DCI, and then he went to Karen police station, and then they abducted him, and they brutalized him, they handcuffed him, he had wounds. So first of all, I have nothing but good things to say about Macharia Gaido. He took the pain that was probably allocated to me. It was meant for me. So I really respect Macharia Gaido for that. And then I went to the DCI. I presented myself because there was no other option. My face was circulated, and I didn't want to appear as if I'm a fugitive and I'm a law-abiding citizen. We presented ourselves to DCI Kiambu Road. They told us to go to Nairobi area. We obliged. We went there. I have nothing but, gratitude to my lawyers who moved very swiftly. There's John Haminwa, there's Dudley Ochiel, and there's Austin Kativa. And I'm grateful that we went that, and then we went for a hearing before Magistrate Ondieki, and he gave us 30,000 bail. We were with my comrade Ali Noor. I don't know whether if he's online. I hope he gets the mic at some point. But yeah, it's been a long week because we have seen that the system can be fine-tuned to turn a civil case into a criminal case. Because that was a civil case, there was a complainant. The complainant had all the avenues to reach me, because I think even my lawyer is currently in touch with their lawyer. There were all these avenues to reach me, so that, if I could do anything. In fact, sometimes you don't even need lawyers. Sometimes you just need to DM me. And if there is something, I would delete it quickly. So I don't know how, it ended up there. But the thing is, we are investing our time and our energy in this process. We are doing this for the greater good of the country, which is why now we come to the second person I've been profiling, who is Khalif Cairo. Every day before the protests, at 8 p.m. on the eve, he releases a video telling people or discouraging people from going for the maandamano. And we are wondering, these are unsolicited videos. Why are you telling us not to go? Are we going with your money? Are we going with your fare? I think Khalif Cairo is so used to paying people on Twitter, the useless bastards on Twitter who follow him. He's so used to paying them, and he imagines that when we are going, we are demanding or requiring anything from him. No, listen. First of all, if you've benefited from this regime, the first thing you should be doing is laying low. You should be laying low if you've benefited, if you are somewhere your business is intertwined with the stalwarts in this government, lest we are going to profile your business. And Khalif Cairo, we know where your business is located. It's located in Kiambu Road. It's located in Westlands Business Park. We can come and occupy there if you continue doing, and I have no problem with government stalwarts who say and proudly flaunt their regime. But I have a problem with those who hide those who are hiding and purporting to dispense neutral opinions and claiming that, oh, I am telling you because I care about your well-being. You should not. No. We will not allow pacifiers or people who have been paid by the regime, by the establishment, to come and disrupt us. You have no business telling somebody not to go. You should be, can we say, saving that kind of unsolicited advice to your dependents, to your girlfriends, to your hoodrats, but not to people on social media. And we are dealing with young, impressionable people who may not know the kind of treachery that goes on in these streets. Now, me, I have been in this world for long. I can tell a scammer from a distance. I can tell you from a mile away that this guy is pushing an agenda. So if you, the burden of the brutalized, let me repeat it again. The burden of the brutalized is not to comfort the bystander. So you have no critique. You have no catalog of achievement. You have no. We can't tell whether you have been criticizing the government on our behalf, whether you've been doing it for your own personal vested interests. But if you have no established, can we call it, for our oppression, then please don't criticize us when we take the next step. Like now, this week, people are talking about Occupy, JKIA. They are already insinuating that, oh, we want to engage in arson and whatnot. No, they have blocked us from accessing Uhuru Park. First of all, they erected a fence there, God knows for what. It's supposed to be a public park. That fence needs to be down as soon as possible. But they have blocked us from CBD, and then now they use the business people to try and guilt trip us. Oh, because you're coming to CBD, then the business people are not making money. And I'm wondering, these business people, if the people don't have money, where will you get the customers? Where will you get the clientele to sustain your business? So we are all in this shit together. That's what you need to understand, so that when you open your mouth and claim that you're a businessman and you're suffering because of the protest, so me, I'm your potential client. How do you expect me to get money or to have money to come and support your business when they are passing a very toxic, a very sterile finance bill? So we are all in this together one way or another. So if you have no established catalog of our criticizing for our issues, for our grievances, please don't give us suggestions. Don't make suggestions for those of us who are in the struggle, those of us who are in the grind, trying to make it better. I was telling somebody, and I did a tweet just recently, just a while ago. I was saying Uhuru Kenyatta banned JKIA in 2013. 2013, he had seen the only way he's going to push his business interests. First of all, he wanted, to get the duty-free. He wanted to be in control and get the contracts for the duty-free. And then he wanted to terminate the Greenfield terminal. So because he couldn't do that legally, then he resorted to an unconventional way. And we endured the disruption that was even... Forget about everything we endured, because I remember I was traveling at the time a lot. We endured the disruption for months. Everything was overhauled. Everything was done. Even where we were going to get our stamps. Today, those contracts still exist at JKI. Do you know how much they're getting paid? They're getting paid 2 million shillings. 2 million shillings a day for those useless tents where when you are arriving, you get into a tent, I don't know what. They are being paid 2 million shillings. Nobody has ever raised a finger. But because now a group of protesters are saying, because we've been blocked everywhere, now let's go to the airport. We are not going to ban it. We are just going there to protest because they have blocked us in every other avenue that we want. Oh, now they are saying, oh, we are promoting anarchy. Where were they when Uhuru was banning the airport? You understand? So, finally, I would want to tackle this issue of this treacherous bastard called Raila Amolo Odinga. Like, that guy has no shame whatsoever. We are supposed to be looking at our elders for advice, for direction, but slowly it's emerging that age is no longer a measure of wisdom, because you are ready to sacrifice all the ideals, all the principles, all the values that you've been purporting to stand for. But there was this one time I went to the Raila, the Jaramogi Odinga Center in Upper Hill, and he gave us a speech. And you will notice when he's giving his speeches, he starts from 1982, and then they end at 1995, and then he says he went, I don't know where, he was in exile, or he was in hiding, and then these people told him to hide, but he conveniently sleeps and forgets to tell us or omits the fact that from 1997, he is the one who extended the Moi regime, part of him and the other MPs who came up with this so-called IPPG, so and whatnot. And he came now in the Kibaki era, and then he came to the Uhuru era. His treachery and his betrayal is well documented, is in the public domain. So to see him embarking on the same garbage that he's been doing year in, year out, to see him now saying, he released a statement today saying, I don't know, the doctors must be dealt with, I don't know what, all these issues must be dealt with. Who asked him? Who does he think that they are going to be dealt with because he spoke about them? This is the entitlement with a certain political class that we want to eradicate, because when they are talking about dialogue is amongst themselves, and we are saying that we are tired of your nonsense. Raila Odinga has pieced on his credentials, his imaginary credentials. He's I hear he's a conman, but I think he's worse. I think this guy is the problems of Kenya today are intertwined with Raila Odinga, and to see him shamelessly, even fronting names to be part of the cabinet. I'm happy because when we started this movement, we were only about Ruto must go, but now we have gotten Raila Odinga as a bonus package. So is buy one, get one free is a bog off, because this Raila clown, this Raila character has been behind our misery, and now is an opportunity to hit a reboot so that in the next political dispensation, because we have seen Joe Biden, we had said Joe Biden is a one-time president. You can see his senility. His senility even drove him to Ruto. So if we are saying that Joe Biden has gone, if we are saying that Nicolas Sarkozy, not Sarkozy, this French president Macron has gone, if we are saying that Rishi Sunak has gone, then clearly there is no international support for William Ruto. If we are hearing, if the rumors are true that the donors have suspended funding from Kenya, if it is true that businessmen are not paying their taxes, then in a few weeks, Ruto will not have money even to pay the very policemen who are brutalizing us. So we are ending, the end game is clear. We are going, we are getting into something called a scorched earth policy, that's or strategy, where now the government will not have funds to continue propagating their heinous and outrageous and demonic agenda. So since we have seen that end, we should start preparing early, because it is inevitable. Ruto is going. It's just a matter of when, but it's not an if, it's when he leaves. And from my own predictions, and I'm rarely wrong, Ruto cannot get to 2027. He will definitely not get there. Look at him today. Even when he's given an opportunity on a silver platter to rise to the occasion, to tower above his petty and parochial interests, the guy just opens his mouth and says the dumbest shit that can come out of a human being. You wonder what's wrong with this guy. He's just intentionally, deliberately provoking us. And now when people now decide he has triggered, I've had the PS here talking of higher education, and she's talking in a very motherly tone, and she's saying, "Oh, I'm a mother, you know, you're sympathizing with who? Shut the fuck up, man. Stop trying to insult our collective intelligence over here, trying to say you're sympathizing with who. You are increasing university students' fees. You are reducing help allocations. You've been planted there just to fulfill an agenda, and that agenda comes with disenfranchising young people so that you alone can be there on top, reaping from what you've not sown. And we are saying we are tired because of this collective bullshit. Then you're coming here and your motherly tone, and then with your scripted speeches here, you're trying to doing so come to 10th that. It's just shut the fuck up, man. Emirates shouldn't be hosting some of these GOK clowns over here, man. Yeah, I know we want to make it as a free speech. I don't know, citizens assembly, but some things, man, these guys are insulting our intelligence. These guys just want to aggravate us with our taxes. And so we are saying, when we are taking the next step that we are taking in this movement, it could be non-violent. Everyone seems to think that protest is the only strategy, is the only plan, is the only option that people have. No, there are so many other strategies of non-violent protest, and we are going to utilize all of them, because we are saying that we have given these guys time to just say something, to just give us a hint, to just say, you know what, we are going to overhaul the cabinet. And then they bring back the same losers, the same wankers, the same idiots who have been oppressing us, the same guys who should be in the International Criminal Court are brought back, because he's showing us like Mutadu, he's showing us like the middle finger, like Mutadu, nyinyi ni nani? And so I'm saying, me, I am worked up. I'm wondering why everyone else is not worked up. I'm wondering, why are you guys just moonlighting like this? If we decide as young people that we are going to do X, Y, and Z, and
Yes.
give me 1 minute, I clear. I know normally when I hear your voice is that's the time, whatever, that's the bell. So we are saying as young people, if amongst us we have people who are masquerading as they are neutral, and then they are fronting the government's agenda, then we should call them out. And calling them out is not a sign of disunity. It is a sign of transparency and accountability. The same accountability that we demand or we aspire for our country, we should be implementing it, so that we cannot replace one crop of despots with the other. Thank you very much, Amerix, for hosting me.
All right. Thank you, Francis. I don't know if Edgar, go on. I don't want to interfere. Give mic to everyone who wants to talk. This is their citizen space. Let them talk. Their pain, their anger, their rage, because people are pained. So give mics to everyone so that they speak 2 minutes, 3 minutes, so that we push this forward. Thank you very much.
Okay, asante sana. So I'm going to go with Billy Mia.
Could someone else kindly go first? Then I go.
Oh, okay,
next.
okay. Kenya Daima.
Okay, thank you, Edgar, for the opportunity, and also thank you, Amerix, for consistently opening Citizens Assembly. The reason why I picked the mic is I wanted to address this kind of coercion and manipulation language that has been used by the people we've elected as our representative. This notion and nonsense of calling us our sons, our daughters, and this idea of coming, you are my sons and everything, that is insulting our collective intelligence. You guys, you are our stewards. You are our stewards for representing us. This whole idea that you've been using this language, you are my sons, you are my daughters, and you are busy killing our future, and everything that has been happening, it has been happening systemically. I'm really happy that most of the people have been seeing some of the issues that I've been addressing on the timeline. Look at the energy sector. How comes our cost of production of energy is 25 shillings and above? Look at the countries we are competing with for production. It is 3 shillings. Ask yourself why systemically we are being crippled. You need to ask yourself such questions. Look at agriculture. We are getting seeds that can't regrow. That is what happened. Look at what happened in Austria, early 2000s. Unilever used to buy seeds of potatoes and go throw them in the Mediterranean to make sure that they control food production. And that is the same thing that is happening into our country. We need to wake up. Look at what they are doing to the education sector. I don't want to belabor the points and repeat things that have been said. What I'm liking is that we are all waking up, and all the youth that are listening to me, this is to you, all the youth that you are listening to me. It is your presence on Tuesday and any other day that is going to determine how long William Ruto is going to stay there. I'm here to implore you to come out in large numbers. That is what I'm here to tell you. I'm here to tell every youth to come out. They are still in our country, and they are coming here on spaces and even in public spaces, calling us our sons, our daughters. I am your elder. This self-appointment of eldership, that nonsense needs to stop in this country. You can't be stealing our resources and coming in spaces and shamelessly addressing us. That is why I picked the mic, to address this nonsense. And I don't know why we allow them to continue with that language even in public spaces. Thank you, Amerix and Edgar.
Okay, thank you so much, Mkenya Daima, for that solid submission. So I'm going to go to Keotios. Yes, you had requested to wind
Thank
up
you,
your
Edgar.
submission.
Thank you. I was talking about the missing persons, and I made my submission, but there's something that I want ikuwe clear hapa. Narudia tena. It is just a rallying call to the Twitter influencers, especially Twitter influencers with big big numbers, the big wigs. Let's stop this division ya watu wakimiss tunakataa kupush. Right now kwa tweet ya MJ, asante kwa kazi umefanya leo, umepush sana. Kwa tweet ya MJ kuna like 14 persons ama youths with their names and their respective pictures ziko hapo. Wote wana miss. Those are the things that we need to push. Let us push. Let's amplify hawa watu wapatikane. Because sasa tukinyamaza watu watazidi kupotea zaidi. So I call upon all of you. Wacha to push. And ni kitu inastua. You see, recently niliona kuna mtu alishikwa this week. I don't know whether it is Gaidho or Alinur. And a Twitter bigwing quoted that tweet and said, let him free himself. My friend, you are an idiot for lack of a better word. Yes. Hiyo hatufai kuishi hivyo majama. Hiyo division sio poa. Wacha mtu yote akishikwa hata kama small wig, let us help them. Wacha to call out hii kitu. Watu wana miss, wazazi wanalia. Kuna mzazi ananitext saa hii hapa kwa DM. Naweza waonyesha. Wanalia ajui mtoto wako wapi, ati alipotea sijui July 11. Ananiambia nimsaidie kupush. So let's push these things. Tafadhali. That's what I wanted to say. Alafu kuna mtu hapo kwa DM ameniambia my message tunyakundi Cyprian. Anasema kuna watu wanasema ati you unblock at least waingie kwa space. Anyway, thank you so much Amerix, Cyprian and Edgar for this citizen assembly.
Asante sana Keotios. Yes. So co-analyst, your hand is up. 2 minutes.
Thank you very much. I don't have much to say, but I want to appeal to all of us. I mean, the enemy is bad governance. The enemy is, the abductions, the disappearing and everything. So one, I would like to ask everyone if we could just stop bickering amongst ourselves. If we can just focus for now, we focus on Ruto, we focus on sending this guy home, we focus on being able to find our brothers and sisters who've been missing. Because one, the people who are locked up in parliament. Two, what happened to on the night of 25th in Githurai, we really need to bring out a lot of engagement around this. So I would like to request Bonfas and Gaidho, if we can. I mean, I value and respect your views, but I think there's a lot of concern that if we can be able to just focus for now, like now our focus is to shut down Nairobi on Tuesday. That should be the focus. And it's my prayer that we do that. And then number two, I would like us to speak in one voice. If we're going to